Welcome to Frame a Synergy. On this channel, we share insights about business, marketing, and new opportunities around the world. In this video, we explore business opportunities during war, where money is moving in 2026. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone interested in business strategy and global economics. Your support helps the channel continue bringing in deeper insights into money, markets, and emerging opportunities. When people think about war, the first images that come to mind are destruction, uncertainty, and instability. However, history shows that periods of conflict also reshape global economies in powerful ways. Wars redirect capital, accelerate technological innovation, stand on these answers will struggle to survive. Behind every major geopolitical conflict, there is a massive shift in supply chains, infrastructure spending, defense production, energy markets, and financial systems. In 2026, as tensions and conflicts continue to affect different regions of the world, we are witnessing another wave of economic transformation. The movement of money during wartime does not happen randomly. It follows strategic needs, national priorities, and urgent logistical demands. Understanding where this money is moving reveals not only who is benefiting, but also where new business opportunities are emerging. One of the most obvious sectors experiencing massive growth during wartime is the defense and security industry. Governments dramatically increase military budgets when conflicts escalate, which creates huge demand for weapon systems, surveillance technologies, cybersecurity infrastructure, drones, and advanced communication networks. In modern warfare, technology plays a far greater role than it did in the past, meaning defense contracts now extend far beyond traditional weapons manufacturers. Companies that specialize in artificial intelligence, satellite imaging, and electronic warfare systems are now deeply integrated into military supply chains. Startups that once focused on civilian technology are finding themselves partnering with defense agencies and governments as the line between civilian tech and military technology becomes increasingly blurred. Another major flow of money during wartime moves toward logistics and supply chain infrastructure. Modern wars depend on complex supply networks that deliver equipment, fuel, medical supplies, food, and communication equipment across vast distances. And traditional supply chains become disrupted by conflict zones. Businesses that can provide alternative routes, transport solutions, and logistics coordination suddenly become extremely valuable. Freight companies, shipping networks, cargo aircraft operators, and companies specializing in freight supply chain management often experience significant growth during these periods. Even companies involved in warehouse automation and inventory tracking technologies become essential as governments attempt to manage the enormous flow of goods required for military and humanitarian operations. Energy markets also experience dramatic shifts, where disrupt oil pipelines, gas supplies, and electricity infrastructure, creating volatility in global energy markets. As a result, investment often pours into energy diversification projects, including renewable energy infrastructure, energy storage systems, and alternative fuel technologies. Governments that suddenly realize their dependence on unstable energy suppliers begin rapidly investing in domestic energy production or alternative sources. This shift opens the door for businesses working in solar energy and alternative fuel technologies. Governments that suddenly realize their dependence on unstable energy suppliers begin rapidly investing in domestic energy production or alternative sources. This shift opens the door for businesses working in solar energy, wind power, battery storage, hydrogen fuel development, and grid resilience technologies. Energy security becomes not just an environmental goal, but a national strategic priority. The cybersecurity industry has also become one of the fastest growing sectors during geopolitical conflict. Modern warfare increasingly includes cyber attacks targeting financial systems, government databases, infrastructure networks, and communication platforms. Governments and corporations alike are investing heavily in digital defense systems designed to protect sensitive data and maintain operational continuity. Companies providing cybersecurity monitoring, threat intelligence, encryption technologies, and digital infrastructure protection services are seeing enormous demand. In fact, many analysts believe that cyber warfare will continue expanding even after physical conflict subsides, meaning investments in cybersecurity capabilities are likely to remain a long-term priority. Another unexpected area of business growth during wartime emerges in reconstruction planning and infrastructure rebuilding. Even while conflicts are still ongoing, governments, international organizations, and private investors begin planning the rebuilding of cities, transportation networks, energy grids, and housing. Reconstruction efforts after major conflicts historically involve billions or even trillions of dollars in contracts for engineering firms, construction companies, material suppliers, and urban development planners. Businesses involved in modular construction, rapid infrastructure deployment, resilient technologies often play a key role in these recovery efforts. For companies capable of operating in challenging environments, post-war can represent one of the largest economic opportunities created by conflict. Agriculture and food supply also become critical industries during wartime disruptions. Conflicts often interrupt traditional food production and export routes, creating shortages and price volatility across global markets. As governments attempt to secure food supplies for their populations, investment increases in agricultural technology, precision farming, greenhouse production, and alternative food sources. Companies working on vertical farming, drought-resistant crops, and efficient irrigation systems find new opportunities as nations attempt to strengthen food security. In some cases, as production itself becomes strategically important, pushing governments to subsidize domestic agriculture and invest in advanced finance technologies, creating opportunities in risk management, commodities trading, and currency hedging. Investors to protect capital from geopolitical instability, which increases demand for safe haven assets, commodities, and defensive investment strategies. And financial institutions specializing in geopolitical risk analysis often the same thrive in volatile environments emerge to help uplift to disrupted markets, fluctuating exchange rates, and unpredictable trade restrictions. Technology innovation often accelerates dramatically during wartime conditions. Throughout history, many technologies that later transformed civilian life were initially developed for military purposes. Satellite navigation systems, the internet, advanced materials, and aerospace technologies all benefited from wartime research and development funding. In 2026, similar innovation cycles are occurring in fields such as drone technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, and space-based communication systems. Startups that can adapt these technologies for both defense and commercial markets may find themselves at the center of rapidly expanding investment ecosystems. Humanitarian logistics and crisis response services represent another growing sector that often receives less attention. Conflicts create massive humanitarian challenges, including refugee movements, medical emergencies, housing shortages, and disaster relief operations. Organizations responding to these crises rely heavily on private companies that can provide medical equipment, portable housing, water purification systems, and emergency logistics. Businesses specializing in disaster response infrastructure, temporary housing solutions, mobile healthcare facilities, and clean water technologies are becoming increasingly important players in global humanitarian operations. Perhaps the most important lesson about wartime economies is that money does not simply disappear during conflict, it moves. It shifts towards sectors that support security, resilience, logistics, energy independence, and technological advantage. While the human cost of war is always tragic and devastating, the economic systems surrounding conflict reveal powerful insights into how governments prioritize resources and how industries evolve under pressure. For entrepreneurs, investors, and analysts, understanding these shifts provides a clear view of where capital is flowing and where new markets are emerging. Agricultural resilience and crisis response systems are all attracting significant investment and attention. These sectors are not only responding to immediate conflict-related demands, but are also shaping the long-term structure of global industries. Businesses that understand these dynamics and position themselves strategically may find opportunities in places others are not yet looking. Thank you for watching Freema Synergy. If you found this analysis valuable, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment with your thoughts, and share it with others who are. interested in global business trends and economic strategy. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.